Warning. Warning. You are entering a territory far from your safe space. You must turn back now, or you will become informed. Go. Now.
Breaking news, nigga. Some breaking news.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
There's something wrong with the black man's mind. There's something wrong with his mind. Nigga, please.
Oh, hell no.
Fight their asses.
Chris Marzan says it's a night he will never forget after seeing a car driving out of control near Stockton Boulevard in South Sacramento.
I noticed it's a Sacramento police vehicle. And so as I pass, it makes a U-turn. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to get pulled over.
Marzan, a former security guard, didn't get pulled over. Instead, he witnessed the patrol car crash.
Looking into my rearview mirror, I noticed that the vehicle continued swerving side to side and then eventually crashed into the side parking lot.
That's when he realized the person driving the patrol car was not in uniform.
I then saw an individual, a male, get out of the vehicle wearing gray sweats, black shirt, and I'm like, he's definitely not an officer. He gets back in the patrol car, so as I double back...
Marzan says he dialed 911 and proceeded to follow the driver and record his every move using his new dash cam.
And I said, this guy needs to be stopped. My concern was there's a bunch of pedestrians around and this guy was driving reckless, so I went and proceeded to follow him.
The suspect decided to stop here at A1 Market. He went in for a beer, and that's when Marzan decided to make a citizen's arrest.
I used caution. I was very careful about it because I didn't know if this guy's going to come out with a weapon.
Marzan then placed the 22-year-old in handcuffs.
And I was like, get down on the ground.
Zachary Samaha complied with orders, but the Good Samaritan says he was clearly intoxicated.
He was like, okay, you got me. And he was just laughing about the whole thing. So it was like a big joke to him.
Sacramento police say they're investigating the incident and hope to prevent another patrol car from being stolen again.
I don't know why anybody would commit such a crime. We are looking into it right now, and we're looking at our policies and procedures, if there are any lessons learned from this event.
Marzan says he knows he put his life at risk, but has no regrets.
Hindsight, do you regret doing what you did?
You know, since last night, a lot of people talked to me about it. You know, I don't recommend anyone doing anything that I did. I stand by, I've told everyone, I stand by my decision because, you know, I can't, me personally, I can't live with myself if something happened to someone.
Officers say they appreciate his help.
We do need the help from the community. There are eyes and ears out there, so we're appreciative that we got a call, and we're very fortunate that nobody was hurt.
Authorities said a Texas couple enslaved a nanny by repeatedly abusing her and making her work 20 hours a day without pay. The complaint said Chudi and Sandra Nusobundu of the Houston area forced the nanny to only drink milk left in bowls that the children had used for cereal. The caretaker, a Nigerian woman, was also forced to sleep on the floor. The 38-year-old nanny, who was not identified, said she was promised $100 per month but has never been paid in her 2 years working for the Nusobundus in their Katy home and caring for their 5 children. Sandra Nusobundu would hit her repeatedly if she thought the nanny was not performing her duties. The nanny was rescued in October after a tip was made to the National Human Trafficking Resource Center. The Nusobundus were charged with forced labor, withholding documents, conspiracy to harbor an illegal immigrant, and visa fraud. The couple face up to 20 years in prison.
A Houston area couple accused of abusing their nanny has been ordered to pay her more than $120,000 in restitution.
Now, Chudi and Sandra Sabundo pleaded guilty to federal charges related to forcing the woman to work nearly 20 hours a day, taking care of their home and their 5 children without pay for 2 years. The couple was sentenced yesterday to 7 months in jail and 7 months of home confinement, plus 3 years of probation. The couple and their nanny are originally from Nigeria. We're told they recruited her to work at their Katy home with a promise of just $100 per month.
A man accused of killing a Fort Collins mother whose body was found in a lake pleaded guilty today to first-degree murder. Jeffrey Etheridge killed Heather Hoffman, his guilty plea part of an agreement that dismissed the other charges against him, guaranteeing that he would not face the death penalty. He'd also been charged with second-degree kidnapping, sexual assault, and tampering with a deceased human body. Etheridge says he would have been discredited at trial because of his past. He's a registered sex offender and had initially failed to register when he moved to Colorado in March.
Thank you, Katie. Now to a disturbing video of an animal cruelty case in Baton Rouge. This has been circulating on social media. You'll see a young man with 2 dogs on a leash, and all of a sudden he's swinging the dogs on them, lifting into the air, and throws them. The dogs squeal as they hit the ground. They do get up and run away. Officials did find those pups and return them to their owner. And thankfully, they are said to be okay. But the search is on for this suspect in this video. It all happened in a parking lot in East Baton Rouge over the weekend.
AJ and Woko reporting in Chesterfield, 2 children were found wandering around in the bitter cold, and now their mother has been charged with neglect. Police released these photos moments after the children were found outside the Remuda apartments at about 1:40 this morning. They were immediately taken to the hospital to get checked out. Officers later found the children's mother, Jaquana Brown Clark, and charged her with 2 counts of felony child neglect. The kids are staying with their father.
Fayetteville, North Carolina. A Fayetteville pastor has been arrested in connection with 4 different children being sexually abused from 1996 to 2008. Glenn Collins, 51, knew the victims at the time of the offenses and was a pastor of a church in East Fayetteville. Detectives began investigating the allegations in October 2017 after a victim came forward. Detectives with the Fayetteville Police Department's Youth Services Division have charged and arrested a suspect in connection with reported sexual abuse that occurred between the years of 1996 and 2008. Detectives began investigating these allegations in October 2017, after a victim came forward and notified the FPD of the sexual abuse. Collins was charged with 12 counts of first-degree rape, 5 counts of first-degree sexual offense, 5 counts of second-degree rape, 3 counts of second-degree sexual offense, 9 counts of statutory rape, 6 counts of statutory sexual offense, 32 counts of indecent liberties with a child, 25 counts of child sexual activity, 39 counts of sexual activity by a parent, 2 counts of crimes against nature, 2 counts of sexual battery, 1 count of attempted second-degree sexual offense, 1 count of attempted crimes against nature.
When John Bell sauntered into the Latino cell store on April 17th, clerk Karina Leon knew immediately it was a robbery.
Well, as soon as he entered, he just pointed the gun at me, and I knew instantly that I'm getting robbed again.
Having been robbed just weeks prior, Leon decided to jump into action. She rushed out the customers, then locked the door. Bell had nowhere to go. Over the next 6 minutes, Bell tries several tactics, including shooting at the door lock. Police say that method backfired.
What he did is he broke the lock on the inside. So when he found keys and tried to make his way out, he wasn't able to get out because of the fact that he messed the lock up.
Eventually, he resorted to begging.
At some point, I kind of did feel bad when I saw that he got on his knees and begged me.
But Leon was resolute, calling 911 and waiting for Houston police to arrive, arresting Bell, who at that point had all but given up.
I think once he finally realized that he was done, he just stood there and waited and put his hands up in the air.
It turns out Bell was no stranger to being in trouble. He was already on deferred adjudication for another case. But this time, he wasn't getting away. And the video even caused veteran officers to shake their head.
He scales to 10 for dumbest crooks out there, for sure.
Statutes that violate the plain
Stop.
August
Stop.
common right now.
Mr. Sheriff, do it.
Use it. All right, I'm going to take 5. When it calms down, and I'll be back.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes.
We're just going to rest right here for 5 minutes. You can go back home. The judge said that give him 5 minutes and he'll come right back. We have protocol.
And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. Also follow us on the usual media for more and interesting information like this.
Fight their asses.